Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake Chats 2017, and I'm not going to stay long. I just wanted to come in and share my happiness and my braids. See, isn't it beautiful? My friend did that for me last night. Oh, it's so pretty. I feel like a princess. I was able to just spend some very beautiful quality time with my friend who is on the same track. We language these realities we know differently because we have different histories, and yet and it was helpful. It was very helpful to have good counsel, don't you think? I think so. It was really helpful and happy making. So I do want to share a couple of things before I take off on this pretty day. And yeah, it's my personal process, la la la. There have been some massive releases that have come, of course, through through understanding, I guess. But it's not a mental understanding anymore. There have been a number of synchronicities I want to share. I won't go into great detail, but I bought myself a necklace to commemorate and assist me as I began my last managerial job as a nurse. I thought it would be a great way to end my career, and it was a wonderful resting spot for a few months, it turns out. But I didn't know that at the beginning. I was fully committed. But I wanted a symbol. I'm going to do this highly technical nursing job that is full of responsibility and danger as a living, breathing something more. And so I found before that job, or right after, I forget, a beautiful triple goddess necklace with carnelian stone. And I liked it because carnelian, I understood, had to do with living the truth, or walking your walk, or that kind of thing, and root chakra stuff and good stuff. And I bought a necklace, and then I wore it, and then I decided, well, really it should be in my office, and so I doubled it up, taped it, and then boop, put it on the wall. And then when I was asked to leave unceremoniously one morning, I boxed up my 2 boxes of crap, and they rode around in my trunk for a long time. I finally brought them upstairs, and they're tucked away, but I don't access the boxes very often. Yesterday morning, I was getting ready my coffee and food at the kitchen, and there was a silver thing on the counter. I thought, oh, that's kind of neat. Right next to the stove. And I picked it up, and well, sure enough, still double wrapped, still taped, there sat my goddess necklace. And all I could think of is, oh, I wonder what this symbolizes. My trinket's been returned to me because I am a beautiful goddess. And I am walking my walk. And it has nothing to do with proving it. It has to do with being it, living it. So look what I have around my neck now. Ready? Ooh, it's so pretty. There have been others. Internal. I realize that I've spent 5 years arguing with people in my reality who, some I've traveled with a lifetime, some almost a lifetime, and some a ways. And saying every day of my life as I practice this last 5 years, I don't understand why I have to keep doing this. Feeling like a prisoner. Why do I have to keep doing this? This isn't my life. Realizing that May 25th is a big day for me as a person, because that's the day I graduated nursing school. It's the day my son graduated kindergarten. It's a big day. Many years passed when I didn't even notice it passing that day. But on May 25th of 2012, that was 27 years since I'd graduated. That reduces to a 9. It spells 9. 9, that's completion. 27, duality, walking alongside divinity. 27 is an important number for me. It's an important number for a lot of people. But 27 years, and on that day of beautiful numerologic completion, I have a conversion. And I'm no longer what I once was. I'm no longer a freaky deaky nurse who is not legitimate and is not seen as anything but weird. Not anymore. Maybe it was on that day that I really was fully eclipsed. And what better way to bring it home into my body, into my life, than to live through 2 eclipses, a lunar and then a solar one, both in my sun sign, eclipsing my ascendant at the degree of my ascendant at birth. So I know I can come to you as an example. I know I am a living, breathing avatar. I'm a living, breathing example. And I know I am one of many who are fully conscious like me. And there's so much for us to discover. There's so much that we puzzle through, reframe, and can then fully embody through simple conversation. So there's a permission in my being that there wasn't before. And I bring it to you because I want you to have it. I know I'm a big light. I know I'm really powerful energetically. I'm aware of that. I know I always have been. And it's made me feel very uncomfortable. So I didn't know what the heck to do with it because I was still a novice. I was still functioning under the cloak of forgetfulness. And my work stands as beautiful metaphors for what it feels like for that cloak to thin and lighten and burn off. So the reason I bring it to you, I think, is for you to see that what one does for themselves to find peace assists all energetically. It can be no other way. It can be no other way. And so the event that I had occur to me in May of 2012, May 25, it's a gift. Just like the writing was a gift. Just like the videos are a gift. What someone does with a gift is their business. And I think I'm kind of a jerk if I give somebody like $20 and then, hound them and judge them for how they spent it. No. When it's out of my hands and given to another, it's gone. It's theirs then. So what humanity and what my friends and family and profession do with the gift that I am, well, that's their business, isn't it? And the last 5 years, I think it's really been just a slow-mo removal of attachments to the lower agreement field. And, he can symbolize it as a split of old energy and new energy. But I realized last night, wow, talk about walking on a new earth. And it means that since that time, I've been surrounded by not only great warriors from my past, obviously, who came to me in order to work through their attachments, but they came to me to help me work through mine. Pretty, huh? It's just different now. For me, it's softer. I rely on miracles now. I can trust that they're going to be there. I know that's how my life is. So, am I okay with owning this? Finally, yeah. So when I said, hey, it's the first day of the rest of my life, yeah. I think this is the second day, and it's better than the first. So, I know that this has been an odd process, and I know that people looking in might feel beat up because, you personalize this darkness. How else could you get through it than to claim it as yours and then say, oh, no. To end, I want to tell you, one of the things that my friend Melissa and I talked about this morning was the mental chatter. And yesterday, I saw this little video by Muji, and I was not really sure how I felt about it. I mean, intellectually, because emotionally, I was like, oh, yeah, this is what I needed. But his message was, being in the mind and thinking and problem solving and projecting and it's nothing. It's never done anything to help. It doesn't come from here. It's nothing. That should be your mantra. It's nothing. Wow. That's kind of risky, dude. Of course, that came up this morning in our Skype conversation because it's true. And I've been reminded of it since then. The yammer is what an old teacher used to call it. Noise. I've called it noise. Physically, the noise stops for me when I am at water, at sea, or in an airplane. Otherwise, that's how sensitive I am. I can feel it. But I've learned how to modulate it. And part of modulating it is acknowledging that it's there and that I responded to it. But I see the whole argument cycle as coming to a close. And I want to share that because I've shared everything else. And last night, wow, the realizations were thick and beautiful and psychedelic, and it was so beautiful, so happy making. And I knew I had to get up and get in front of the camera, and I didn't want to. I was so tired. And so they came to me, and it felt weird because it's like, I'm so big now. I don't need you guys anymore, do I? So they had to talk with me and explain things. And then they led me on some meditations, and then I conked out. But they gave me specific instructions, which I followed. And a very peaceful night. With no dreams. Another dreamless night. I don't really need it all that much. I live lucidly. I think that's the final step. To simply live lucidly. And I think these are beautiful gifts to give away this day to you, whoever you are, to me. I truly don't know who watches these. And oftentimes I forget I've done them. I forget that I am truly, honestly, a walking open book. But only for those who wish to crack the cover. Otherwise, I'm a relatively forgetful older woman who's plain and kind of odd. And from a distance, someone who it might be more appropriate to hate than to get to know. Okay. All right. That's fine, because that's not the only kind of person in my reality anymore. The attachments. They're gone. They're gone. What remains is saying thank you. That's what I have to do today. That's my happy work. And so, with reverence, gratitude, humility, honor, while knowing my place and my power, I understand that I'll be able to say thank you energetically now to those who I've held in perhaps more resentment than reverence, more anger than acceptance, more hostility, protectionism, defense than generosity, thoughtfulness, and availability. I get to say thank you. Soul to soul to soul to soul. After all, who am I really thanking? In the end, we are one soul, and we have individuated. After the end of a play, after the simulated deaths and rebirths and consciousness shifts, there's acknowledgement of its end. There's a moment of suspension. Relief. Coming back into the body. And applause. I believe the applause can keep on coming now. The gifts can keep on coming now. But the final thing that's done by the actor, and I know this because I've been on stage, the final act, after the gift's been given and received and celebrated, the performer bows and says, "Thank you." So I get to say thank you. There are many who chose not to come along with me. There are people who I love desperately who can't tolerate being in my presence. There is loss with this. But there's no longer diminishment. There's thanks. And I know this thanks is mutual, whether the words can be spoken by my compatriot or not. I'd prefer it if my mantra is nothing. I prefer my mantra to be thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. also. I'm going to consider this my first one. Thank you for dropping in and watching. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being able to hang with this energy. It means a lot to me. A lot of people can't yet. But as attachments fall, and the beauty of the soul begins to heal a people, if the song of thanks is what is coming from my lips, it doesn't matter what happens next. I'm in alignment. So, I'm going to take my braids and my necklace and my new fancy shirt, my disco shirt. I got all these shirts and they're all so sparkly. And I got a leopard skin coat and yeah. It's really not very hard to know that I'm a bit of a a bohemian. Prefer if you just call me a burner. Okay, that's it. I'm so happy, and I'm so happy I can be happy with you. Because, golly, there's been a lot of tears, and there's been a lot of pain, and there's been a lot of anger, and I don't understand this shit. I don't understand this shit. Good. And you saw it from me, and you're going to be seeing other things from me. Yeah. Some of it bites. Some of it's really hard. So, you wouldn't be feeling what you're feeling unless you could handle it, unless it was your time. And you wouldn't be in front of this screen unless you knew that you were supported, on time, purposeful. So, from one whale to another, I say thank you. I say namaste. I say in Lakesh. And I say too many. I'll see you on the other side. And too many. I simply have to smile. Sigh, a breath of relief, and say welcome home.